Feel good. So much fun. Very seasonally appropriate for those gals and ghouls out there who enjoy the Halloween season. You'll remember that smash hit included in the 1988 critically acclaimed film that was Beetlejuice. So welcome to this week's sales meeting, and there's your, I guess, fun fact for the rest of the week. My name is Michael Rapaski. I will be your host this morning as we work through the last sales meeting of October. Boy, it felt like September went fast and October said, hold my apple cider. It flew by, and we are we're barreling towards 2023, guys. We have 67 days, I believe 67 days left in the year, almost 40 business days for you 9-to-5 folks. We're going to cover a few topics today related to what we have left on deck for the remainder of the year. And then I'm going to talk about, as a part of our business planning series, we're going to talk about coaching and how important that is in framing up and supporting your goals for the upcoming year. So we will start this week, as we start every week, with a little review of the Y4C2Ts. That is our belief system. And this week, I want to talk about a win-win. I think that is something that's going to become increasingly important in our lives and in our businesses and in all the transactions that we will do. But it's also a strong underpinning of a great coaching relationship. And, you know, whenever you are working with a coach, if they're a high-performing coach, a great coach, they'll be seeking win-wins in that relationship. And that is going to be sometimes in the form of promoting you or helping you evolve into different coaches or different coaching programs. What was surprising to me as I started to explore and be a part of coaching through Keller Williams, specifically in my leadership role, was, you know, when the relationship wasn't clicking with a specific coach inside of MAPS, I was able to have a honest and open conversation with my coach about what it would look like to have a different coach. And he then helped me identify and interview the coaches that would be the best fit for me because my needs had changed and they had evolved. And so that's why am I talking about that when I'm talking about a win-win? Well, what I'm talking about is that, you know, a coaching relationship is just that. It's a relationship, and both people have to be invested. They both have to be engaged, and they both have to have positive outcomes from that relationship. And so when we talk about coaching, we're going to talk about a bunch of different forms that it shows up inside of our company. But I want you to be thinking first and foremost about the win-win. Some people will talk themselves out of it from a cost standpoint, or, oh, I tried to coach once and it didn't work. We need to take a step back, reevaluate, and then really lean into the opportunity that is coaching support throughout the upcoming year and beyond. All right, dues are due. That is going to be your board dues as we barrel towards the end of the year. That means that they're the Akron-Cleveland Association of Realtors, the Lorain County Association of Realtors, the Lake Geauga Association of Realtors are all looking to fill their coffers for next year to make sure that they can provide you with good events, good support, good training, good education, good CE, and good lobbying efforts. So if you don't know which board you belong to, if you don't know how to pay your dues, if you don't know what your dues are, please reach out to Julia Cumming, and she will get you squared away on what needs to happen and when. Now, for those of you who have a couple of deals left in the pipeline, maybe you got a couple of things pending that are closing in November, what I would strongly encourage you to do, and when I say strongly so many times, I mean that if I had the power to, I would require it. Put some of your closing money, some of your GCI into your training savings. Every agent in our company has a training savings that they can access for things like paying the MLS dues, paying their board dues, paying for their license renewal, paying for coaching, paying for trips to family reunion. It's your money. You just get to hide it from yourself inside of an account here. Do that if you have a closing coming up so that when January 15th rolls around and you owe a car, you're able to just have Julia slide it over into your account and you pay it right away. All right. Shout out to all of our agents who made the very smart move to bring their business to or start their business with Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan in the last month. Thrilled to have these folks in the mix, some of them back in the mix, some of them joining us from other offices, right, wrong, or indifferent. We are thrilled to be in business with them and excited to support their growth as a part of the real estate industry. So what do we have coming up? Well, first, what did we just have? We just had a really great career night in the Rocky River office. Big thank you to everyone who supported that effort, as you can see there, and a shout out to Robbie Brooks. So something that my coach recently encouraged me to do to spice up and make more interesting to the audience a career night presentation was to involve an agent. Now, most of the time we've got agents in the room and we're tapping them, but we're looking to be a little bit more purposeful in the shift. Right? Sound familiar? And make sure that we are not leaving some of the most powerful moments in our experiences to chance. So we invited Robbie last night to do a little interview vignette as a part of our career night. It was great. He was great. It definitely brought a lot of texture to the conversation. And we're very grateful for him doing that and for the Golden Group loaning him out for the evening. Real quick on career nights, 2 more coming in November. Be on the lookout for that. This past weekend, we had a trunk or treat, and it was a ball. We had a fantastic turnout. The weather that we ordered from Amazon.com was delivered right on time. It was beautiful. And we had, I don't know what the official head count was, but I think we had a dozen trunks, what felt like hundreds of children, which probably wasn't. It's just me being overwhelmed. And I think about 10 or 12 different chilies as well. So a very, very, very fun day, great weather. This has become a perennial event for us, and we're very excited for everyone who participated. Now, if you look in the picture in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, you'll see some chilies. And those chilies were not there as friends. They were there competing for an annual recognition that is the equivalent of the league MVP in any major sport. It is the Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan Chili Cook-Off Champion. So I'm very excited to announce that after multiple years in second place, what would seem like countless silver medals, Melanie Sweeney and the Sweeney Group have taken the title from some of the past champions like a Marty Emmerman and a Jeff Young, and have put themselves in the history books forever and ever. So we appreciate that. Shout out to Melanie. Melanie does a great job. You know, you all heard me talk about leading up to this event, how leverageable it is as a client event. And Melanie has such a strong, has leaned into that so much that Her clients even showed up and set up trunks and were a part of our trunk or treat. So we encourage everyone to take advantage of that and look for more opportunities like that in the future to draft off of what is going to be an organizational event and lean into for the opportunity to have as your client event. Tomorrow morning, we have the KW Effect, which brings Aaron Kaufman to town. Aaron Kaufman is a Keller Williams agent out of Atlanta, Georgia, who has made his mission in life to bring as many people to our company as possible. He is a self-described evangelist, and there are few people, even the ones on the payroll of Keller Williams Realty International, even the people who work in our headquarters office, there are few people who have a command of the Keller Williams value proposition that is better than Aaron's. And so tomorrow morning, tickets are still available. We have, I think we have like 24 maybe seats still available. So if you are one of the rare realtors that tends to procrastinate, I know it's not common in our profession, but if you are one of those rare folks who do, you can still grab a ticket. The link just went in the chat. But Aaron is someone who's sponsored more people to join this company than anyone else. And he does it in some unique ways, but first and foremost, he does it from a point of culture and helping people understand the value of our organization locally, regionally, nationally, and internationally. So tomorrow's conversation is very much going to be an education-based one, right? What's the 6 personal perspectives? Make being learning-based the foundation of your action plan, right? Personal perspective number 5. That's where Aaron comes from. So whether you are new to Keller Williams, whether you've been with Keller Williams for a long time and your business is picking up, slowing down, going left, going right, doesn't matter. There's something for you there tomorrow. When Aaron was here in 2019, it was a sellout crowd, a great event, and one that we are happy to have back. So if you are available tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m., doors open. Market update with the cross country team and myself at 9, and then Aaron goes live at 9:30 and starts blowing minds left and right. Next week, you asked for it, you got it. Next week, we bring the sales meeting back in person for the first time since March 10th of 2020. With winter here, we look for opportunities to get some foot traffic back in the office, bring you folks back into the fold, and have some fun. If you were at our mega camp recap, that's the vibe that we're going for here next week in the Pepper Pike office. We'll have doors opening at 9, breakfast provided by our sponsor Truehold. Market update, or excuse me, market center update starts around 9:30 like the normal call would, and then Eric Akbar will take over at 10 a.m. for his famed Get One More Deal session. So this is a session that Eric does every 4th quarter, and it is a fantastic one that affords you the opportunity to get into the mindset and get into the activities immediately, right, on the first day of November to earn a closing before January 1st, right? And so this is a very successful training. It's one we bring back every year. It's one that Eric is very passionate about. And so we're going to have a lot of fun with it. So next week, on Tuesday, November 1st, our sales meeting will be in person only at Pepper Pike. And before I get boos that I can hear all the way from Rocky River, we will be our first sales meeting of December in the Rocky River office, right? So we are getting our sea legs back for the in-person sales meetings. And we're going to do one a month for the remainder of the year, assess, reevaluate, and then build our plan for 2023. You can reserve a seat in the session next week with the link in the chat, and we will be thrilled, just thrilled, to have you there in person. So, funny story, this will be my first sales meeting in person after 2.5 years as the team leader. So, you know, I hope I look as good and am as funny in person as I am on your screen. Another great annual event that we do every fall is the Gratitude Gathering. And so we will be doing these in each office on November 16th. So we'll start on the west side. We will have a fun brunch and potluck opportunity over there to bring all of our west side agents together to share and care about the year that was, love on each other, and get excited for 2023. And then we'll do the same thing that evening in the Pepper Pike office. So Rocky River midday, Pepper Pike in the evening. For those of you who are like, you know, I don't really do the potluck, and I'm not really a gratitude type of person, just do what I do. Consider this a warm-up for eating 6 meals in one day the next week for Thanksgiving, right? So like you cannot go into Thanksgiving weekend if you're not prepared to eat 3 or 4 times a day. So take advantage of this as like a warm-up game, right? This is like a preseason game for Thanksgiving. No, seriously, we want all of you there, and we want you to really enjoy and reconnect with each other as we move through the winter season and as we move into the more challenging months of a real estate year. We're going to need each other more than ever, and we want to take advantage of this opportunity to appreciate and show gratitude to one another. And then we party, right? So then we're going to have a very, very fun time for the Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan Holiday Party. Mark your calendars now. It is December 3rd from 5 p.m. Until 8:30 p.m. Question mark, question mark, question mark. It's a great time. You can get a ticket for yourself and one guest, right? So bring your spouse if you have one and they want to come. Bring a girlfriend or boyfriend, bring a brother or sister, bring a client, bring a friend, you know, take advantage of that, expose some people to how great our culture is, how great our company is, and how much fun we can have. It's going to be a big time. If you were at the holiday party last year, I would encourage you, dust off your dancing shoes. We will be dancing. There will be 2 steps, there will be slides, there will be shuffles. So be prepared to have a good time. Mark your calendars now, get your ticket now, and we will be very excited to see you there. All right, that does it for the big rocks of the calendar. We're now going to throw it over to our boys in banking, Sean, Don, and Chris. Tell us a little bit. Give us a little teaser about what we're going to hear tomorrow. Cross Country, the sole and exclusive sponsor of the KW Effect with Aaron Kaufman, and they'll have the mic for the better part of 30 minutes to talk a little bit about what the world has looked like and what it will look like. What's going on, guys?
Morning, everybody. Yeah, so tomorrow I'm looking forward to it. A little back and forth before the Aaron Kaufman event with Mike, just talking about a little bit more higher level about what inflation is, why it's impacting interest rates, you know, what we might look to see. And there's good news that comes through this, but kind of just explaining where we're at. And as I kind of talk about it is, you know, interest rates, historically speaking, you know, right now we're kind of on a hump. We're kind of hopefully at the top end of kind of the hump with interest rates before they come back down. But we'll get a little bit more into it, hopefully give you some takeaways just to sort of, you know, get the dialogue going with your customers. And Mike may or may not make a prediction about where exactly rates will be, you know, through the winter and spring. So we're looking forward to hearing that as well.
Well, I mean, how accurate have my predictions been year to date?
Yeah, he's right on the mark. He did say, okay. He was the first to say 7%.
Yeah. I mean, and Punxsutawney Phil better watch his job because I'm going to start calling for a really harsh winter too.
Love it.
Wow.
Okay.
Cool. Well, we're going to chat about today something, we've got a lot of programs, obviously we have the FHA, VA, conventional, we do renovation, USDA, all of the big ones you're aware of. And we have a lot of programs kind of outside the box on the fringe that we don't talk about a ton, but a lot of agents are like, hey, do you have something like this? Or we do, stated income, or I should say no document, no income loans. We do the DSCR loan. So I spend a minute just talking about that. DSCR stands for debt service coverage ratio. So where you might see this is maybe of somebody who's maybe already leveraged a bit with, debt or other properties, or maybe they're self-employed and don't show another income and they want to buy an investment property. Well, there is a common sense, we'll call it type of loan where it says, okay, well, if you're charging rent on this house at $1,500 and the payment's going to be $1,100, this thing sort of pays for itself. So with this DSCR loan, it's a loan where we look at the income that's generated by the property. We don't even list the personal income for the customer. So it is a great way to get into investment property. There's some other guidelines to it. The big thing is it's going to be a higher interest rate. You're not going to be looking at an interest rate between 7 and 8%. It's going to be 9+ and maybe even approaching double digits. So it is called the DSCR, debt service coverage ratio. And if you have someone who might be a fit for this, or you want to explore it, just inquire about it, just reach out to Don or myself. But Don?
There's not a whole lot to add to that, except for the fact that documentation wise, there's no tax returns, W-2s, 1099s, nothing. So from that standpoint, when you're working with an investor who has multiple properties, when we're filling out an application, somebody has 5, 6, 7, 8 properties, all that goes by the wayside. We're essentially putting name, address, social on here and listing their assets. It's a simple program from documentation wise. And the key is, again, making sure that the rents do cover the mortgage payment. They like to see it anywhere from a 1 to 1.25 debt service coverage ratio, i.e. $1,000 rent, $800 payment. That's 1.25. That's good.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that this is a great way to unlock other opportunities from your database with people who might not look or feel or be active investors right now. If you went to everybody and said, hey, I got a really interesting way, through my partnership with Cross Country Mortgage to help people get into investment properties, with a little bit of a different angle and different expectations than what you might have. Would you want to sit down and talk about it? You might find that all of a sudden you have 5 people that bought a home from you in the last 2 or 3 years that would be interested in buying an investment property. And I think that we will see investment properties come back on. I think there will be a lot of opportunities with investment properties throughout Northeast Ohio and honestly throughout the United States. More markets than others, given what's going on with the T-bills and where the opportunity is for a lot of the people who hold big portfolios. But don't be shy about talking about opportunities like this with people who own a single family home or you sold a residential home to, because when you get your clients into investing, you generate more business off of the same database. So thank you guys for bringing that. That's a huge opportunity. Title is traveling to a title conference, which one can only imagine is the most exciting event of any given year. So they won't be here with us. Gina Legeza is out today, but I did see Jess Ivins pop on. Speaking of investment.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, what's going on, Jess?
Morning, everybody. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
All right. Everyone's very thankful that you did.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think what you were going to say, Mike, about investment opportunities with our amazing partners at Cross Country. Now is still a great time for your investor clients, your sphere, your friends, your family. They might be holding off, but investors, from our experience, are still buying properties. So just remember that we have a great property management company here with KW, GM. We are fully supportive of you and your clients. So please, if you have any questions about our services, you can reach out to me, or you can give your clients my contact information, and I would be happy to chat with them. Even if they're not under contract yet, that's totally fine. A lot of people like to at least still talk to and shop around for property management companies to account for those funds that they would have to pay for the services before they buy property. So whenever they're ready, feel free to engage me, and I'd be happy to talk to them.
That's awesome. And I think it's a very appropriate conversation to have early on, because you're handling an objection with some of your non-traditional investor clients when they say, like, I don't want to go fix the plumbing at 2 o'clock in the morning because my tenant kicked over the sink or something. Guess what? We have a solution for that, right? And that is a lot of what we do as realtors and leaders and coaches and client service people, as we help our clients get out of their own way a little bit, and in doing so, access opportunities that they would have talked themselves out of. So great to have a very strong property management solution in GMM. So thank you for that, Jess.
Yep.
All right, guys, that brings us to the top of the hour, which brings us to a conversation around our business plans and coaching. First and foremost, before we dive into this coaching conversation, if you have not completed your business plan, you weren't able to make the business planning clinic or the business planning clinic light, and you are interested in a little consultative session to help you understand the models of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, the models that we will use to succeed in the shift, and how those come together in a formal strategic business plan, please reach out to me. If you haven't been able to do that, please reach out to me, and either myself or one of our productivity coaches will be more than happy to support you in doing that, to ensure that you can have everything you want and everything you deserve next year. It starts with a good plan, and then we leverage what we had last week, where Mike Davis taught us about the GPS, our goal priority strategy document, as well as our 411, which is our weekly accountability tool. Now, those are two things that your coach is very likely to leverage in a coaching relationship to guide your activities and help you be self-accountable and self-discover your next steps, right? So when we talk about coaching, it's important to delineate training, mentorship, and coaching, right? Training is about education and skill building. Mentorship is about advice and counsel. But coaching is about self-discovery, right? And if you've ever had a good coach, maybe in any sport, or you've had a really good manager who operated it as a coach in a prior life, the impact of a great coach cannot be overstated. And our organization is a training, coaching, and consulting organization. That's the perspective that we hold as a company. And coaching is, I believe, the highest and best use of that opportunity. If you were at the business planning clinic, you heard me share a stat about coaching that 85% of the top 10% of real estate professionals in the United States have a coach, right? Sometimes in life, it is as simple as find out what successful people are doing and do it, right? I used an example just a couple of weeks ago in our business planning clinic, Light, the one that we did on Saturday morning. Nancy Emmerman was in the room. Nancy has been selling real estate for 37 years. She was one of the founding members of Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan, and she has likely done more real estate transactions and forgotten more about real estate than I will likely ever know. Nancy also has a coach. She's a part of MAPS Mastery Coaching, and she has a weekly call with her coach where she reports her numbers and she considers what she could have done differently and where she's coming up short. She has been selling real estate longer than her coach has been alive. And she loves her coach, right? She loves that coaching relationship. So for anybody who thinks that they're above it, beyond it, don't need it, don't want it, don't like it, just look to what the best people do, right? If you took the top 5 real estate teams in Northeast Ohio, Ryan Young, Jose Medina, the Easy Sales team, let's just take those 3. Those are your top 3. They all have coaches. Some of them have multiple coaches. So it is not something that you have to wait to do. In fact, in our company, we provide it for all of our agents as a part of their first year in real estate. I saw Eric pop on, and I know he was having a little mic trouble. Eric, how are you for sound? Wesley, I see you're also on. How are you for sound?
I'm good.
All right, let's pin Wesley. I see Eric's unmuted, but I don't know if that's working. Oh, Eric? No.
But now.
Now we can.
Perfect.
Excellent. So instead of me telling you about what opportunities with our productivity coaches who coach our under 1-year program and both coach active clients, I'm just going to turn the floor over to them and let them talk a little bit about what their programs look like and correct any mistakes that I've already made today when I talk about coaching.
Well, Wesley, I'll let you start off.
No, I thanks, Eric. No, I think you did a great job, Mike. And I think one of the things that obviously we try to talk about a lot is that difference between mentoring, training, and coaching, right? So it's just super important to know that it's not our role or responsibility to necessarily do a lot of training, but our real goal is to help people self-discover, hey, what are the things that are holding me back from doing what I need to do on a daily basis to have the results that I want? And so that's we can't understate that for sure.
When it comes to that, for a question for both coaches, like what are some of the smallest things that someone might discover or might change that lead to the biggest breakthroughs? Like, you don't have to name names or anything like that, but when you're coaching, you're not just coaching, hey, did you make your 20 contacts today, right? You're coaching the whole person. So what are some of the breakthroughs that you've seen in your program recently?
So I can jump in on that. And I think a lot of people think coaching, especially like we talked about the training versus mentoring versus the actual coaching conversations. It starts off with, Eric, how can you help me with, I've got a problem with a seller. If we're doing our jobs right, we're exploring areas to allow them to again, self-discover, to realize, hey, there is something that I'm actually not realizing, or I'm not feeling like I'm an actual real estate agent, and growing them through that. The reality is, though, it's overcoming limiting beliefs. We all have limiting beliefs, all the way up to Jose Medina, Ryan Young, that we all just talked about. There's something, and that question really comes down to, what is something that you wish you could be doing that you don't believe you actually can right now? What is something you wish you could be doing that you're not actually doing right now? Once we can overcome that, we're going to continue to grow. I always tell my coaching clients, I want you to not be able to recognize yourself 3 years from now. And I'm not saying physically or, your core values or something like that. What I am saying, though, is like, it's a different lifestyle. I watched a lot of agents go from, a completely different lifestyle to, making $150,000, $200,000, $300,000, and what those freedoms come from that, and what they're able to tell their new story about. It's discovering that. So if you are taking notes, I hope we all are. I would write that question down and spend some time on it today of what is something I wish I could be doing that I'm not believing I actually can right now. Wesley, I'll hand it over to you.
I'll warn everybody that as you get into meaningful coaching conversations, your coach is going to ask you questions like that, and it might not always feel good. Like I kind of feel like, how would I answer that? But it is incredibly powerful. And I love what you said, Eric. And I go to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent a lot, as is part of my job, but I just love that, one thing that you nailed is right here on the cover, which is ironic because it's called the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, but on the cover it says it's not about the money. It's about being the best version of yourself. Right. And,
100%.
Wesley, I know you and I have talked about this, like, what's amazing about real estate is all the opportunity, and, it's not about selling real estate. Real estate's a conduit to fund our lives and to provide for our families. And, when we have a serious coaching conversation, it's not about getting the seller to reduce the price. It's about so much more, right?
Right. Yeah. Well said. Well said. And I love that you brought that up too about, we try to coach to the whole person, right? So for us, it's not just about real estate. It's not just about selling a bunch of houses. It's not about, helping you make a lot of money. It's really about helping you, overcome those limiting beliefs, not just, in real estate, because it could be really easy, right? Our roles could be really easy in that, hey, you just need to make more contacts. And what do we need to do to help you to do that from a mental standpoint? But it's not just that. It's so much more. It's, hey, I make the joke, and I think I've made it to you before, sometimes I almost feel like a therapist, right? Like I almost feel like a therapist where, people will come and they'll bring up all sorts of things from life. And that's really what we're trying to do is coach to the whole person while keeping the agent in production. And so that's one of the fun things about it is really focusing not just on the business, but on the person holistically.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys both run group coaching programs for everybody under 1 year, and you do some additional paid coaching with folks who are either, moving very quickly through their progressions as a part of the group coaching, or are post 1 year. Anything that, if I'm an agent on this call and I'm like, oh yeah, like when I joined 60 days ago, I remember it was in the email that I need to set up with my coach. What's the best way to contact you guys? What's the best way to engage, re-engage, ask questions, do an exploratory conversation? What do you want people to do if they're like, man, I want 2023 to be my year. I'm going to have a coach.
So I just typed my name and number, or I'm sorry, my email and my number in the chat. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. So your question was, if you're looking to get into coaching, contact Wesley or I, and reach out. We'll set up a time to have a conversation. If you're brand new, we have coaching every Wednesday. My side of town is 11 o'clock and 5:30 on Wednesday. Wesley, you can, I believe you're about the same times on Wednesday on your side of the town.
Yep.
But yeah, we would set up a time, have a conversation, and explore what that looks like. Because again, what some people think what we do is much different than actually what we do. It's almost like those memes online, like what a nurse does, what their family thinks they do, what their friends think they do.
Yeah.
So we can have a conversation about what that looks like, and mainly where you're looking to take your business and your goals.
I love that. Anything to add, Wesley?
No, the only thing I wanted to add was it really is about you guys, right? And I know I speak for Eric too, like our passion is to help people reach that next level and just move the needle a little bit to the right. I think, so often I think people think a coach is going to get them to some, huge level of production and that sort of thing. But really, I just want to see you improve your life just a little bit, right? Just daily incremental improvement. Mm-hmm. And that's really what we're all about, is trying to help people do that.
Yeah, the compounding effect that can be generated through a strong coaching relationship is one of those things, like you said, where you don't really notice the changes day to day, and then you pick your head up halfway through 2023, and you've already lapped your production from the previous year. So I'll say this: both of these individuals are, as Wesley pointed out, committed to the best outcomes. They are. They go above and beyond the win-win. Sometimes they overfavor their clientele, which is just a great representation of who they are and what they stand for. I will also tell you that this is an opportunity that does not exist in most places. We made the decision a few years ago to support coaching in a very big way as an organization, and for all of our agents. As they get started, really tackling mindset and those fundamental behaviors of top performance is what we do through our coaching program. And if you're not taking advantage of it, don't feel bad. You can right now. So reach out to Wesley, reach out to Eric, and start exploring the opportunities that are right here in your backyard. Thank you, guys. While we have a huge commitment to coaching as a local organization, Keller Williams Realty International actually has the largest real estate coaching company in the world inside of its ecosystem. It's called MAPS Coaching. That stands for Mega Agent Productivity Systems. And it used to be that MAPS Coaching was something that existed for the top performers in the organization as a way to, help them find new mountains to climb. What it has grown into is a very diverse and exciting spread of coaching opportunities. So you see 6 things there on the screen. These are the 6 types of coaching that are offered through MAPS. We'll start with Mastery, which was maybe the most popular or the most well-known, and I believe the one that started the whole thing. This is for agents that are earning north of $150,000 a year in gross commission income, and it is a weekly a weekly one-on-one coaching call with a MAPS Mastery coach. We actually have a MAPS Mastery coach in our office. Her name's Terry Shimileski. And if you want to know about the long, hard road that leads to becoming a mastery coach, it is not for the faint of heart, and it is some of the most talented individuals in the world that will wear that sash. So you're getting coached by people who are masters of the models and systems that lead to success in the real estate industry. It comes, as I said, weekly one-on-one, and with a number of other exclusive perks related to some of the larger Keller Williams events and different opportunities throughout the year exclusive to MAPS Mastery people. We have, I think, 9 or 10 agents who are in MAPS coaching or in Mastery coaching, and members of our leadership team are in Mastery coaching. And it is a very strong thing to explore. If you're interested, they have, and you're at the necessary production level, let me know. There's always opportunities for, a pilot coaching program. One of the ones that I know we have a few other agents who have enjoyed a lot of success in is breakthrough coaching. So breakthrough coaching is going to be focused on really leaning into the business aspects of your real estate career. It's going to be bottom line driven. It's going to be behavioral, and it's going to be twice a month, one-on-one. That is a very powerful program that affords people, the opportunity to really get serious about the nuts and bolts of the business that they're running. It's not about transactions. It's not about anything other than removing the barriers and the limiting beliefs around yourself as self-employed to business owner. BOLD is a program. It's a 7-week program that we bring to Northeast Ohio once a year. It'll be coming back in January. So BOLD is based on action and accountability. And BOLD stands for Business Objectives Life by Design. And it is a transformational 7-week program that is in person, that meets weekly, and there are exclusive scripts, resources, and additional coaching available for BOLD participants and BOLD graduates. So if you are interested, if your business is, you feel getting to the point where, it might be getting a little bit stale, you might be getting a little bit nervous that, hey, this thing that I've done for the last couple of years, I feel like there was a lot of people calling me to buy homes and now there aren't as many, or calling me to sell homes and now that's not happening as much. BOLD is going to be a great program for you to explore in the spring to really get serious about activities and help you double your business next year. That's the typical target for a BOLD graduate, is get into the activities that are going to double your business. Fast Track is a program that I would encourage everybody to go into onto the MAPS coaching website right now and check out. This is going to be the practical and tactical training and skill-based coaching. They are group sessions that meet weekly, but everything from, dominate off-market listings to, creative financing options for buyers to, Script Masters, neurolinguistic programming, building your database, 36 touch, marketing, hiring the perfect admin. There are countless, courses that are going to be, maybe this one's 4 weeks, this one's 8 weeks, this one's 7 weeks, but they're group opportunities for specific mastery of specific skills. And so if you want to take more listings next year, there's half a dozen things that you can plug into through Fast Track that are listing related. And this is also going to connect you with people all around the country who are taking the same program. I know that, I can think off the top of my head with, whether it be Monica Woodman or Scott Carpenter, that have built really strong referral relationships with people all over the country through programs offered through MAPS. And so, if your mind immediately goes to how much will it cost me, don't worry about the bill for doing it. We need to worry about the bill for not doing it, right? So take advantage of that. And then 30, 60, 90 is a really powerful program that's, based on certain set of activities for 30 days, growing those in the next 60 days and growing those again in the next 90 days. And this spans personal and professional, right? And so creating an environment where you can succeed, and maybe not in 3 years look and feel like a different person, but in 3 months. And this is a model that will show up again and again and again throughout MAPS. And then finally, life coaching is the newest addition. I don't know if anybody else feels like they've got a lot going on with their business and that pales in comparison to what they have going on with their life. But one of the models is that if it's something you want to get better at, then you need a coach for it, right? So if your finances, you need a financial coach. You need your lead gen, you need a lead gen coach. Listings, you need a listing coach or a listing coaching track, right? Same thing with life. Let's just take life in general. And so that's where MAPS coaching has evolved over the course of the last decade to include this now, to be a more holistic support to agents. So all those links just got dropped in the chat. Explore those. If you have questions, please let me know. Reach out to a member of the leadership team. Reach out to Wesley or Eric. Wesley and Eric are both folks who participate actively in coaching relationships with other individuals or attend additional training through MAPS to become better coaches. So it's a model that exists and shows up repeatedly. But if you're looking to learn more about any of this or explore any of these, the links are in the chat. And also we're here to talk to you about it. There's also free stuff on the MAPS website, right? So if you want to go watch old content, you want to plug into some old interviews, some old webinars, some old conversations, There's also my personal favorite thing on here is Gary Keller's reading list. So sometimes it feels like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to read next, or there's nothing good. You know, Gary has built the largest real estate company in the history of the world. So, you know, where he's investing time, energy, and resources from an education and reading standpoint might not be a bad place to start. And this breaks down business books, lifestyle books, investing books. He's got a full set for every section of life or business. And so there is, there's more to it. So check that out. I mean, I use this. I'm like, what am I going to read next? Right? Great. Let's go dig something up here. So take advantage of that as well. And then the last thing, MAPS has 2 annual events. They're called masterminds, one in the spring, one in the fall. And we have leadership and agents alike attending these events over the course of the last year as they've moved back to in person. And what's really cool is the spring mastermind, right, will be in early April and is going to be right down the road in a town with a much worse football team in Pittsburgh. And so I would encourage everybody, plug into a fast track coaching or a 30, 60, 90 before the end of the year in the first quarter. Start exploring opportunities with coaching, and then get live in living color, press some flesh, and have an experience centered around your development and your self-discovery in spring masterminds. Anyone who's in mastery coaching has their ticket comped, right? So you're automatically enrolled. There's no cost associated with it for you. We're looking to make a big push as a market center and make this a marquee event, since it's right in our backyard almost, or right down the road. You could literally make it a day trip. And so we're really excited for this. We'll be supporting it as a leadership team. We know our mastery, the folks in mastery will be there, as well as any veterans of the mastermind circuit. And so, you know, our summer mastermind event was really modeled off of what they do at these events, and will continue to evolve as such. So if you want to get exposure to a lot more people regionally and internationally and explore this opportunity, do it now. It's going to be a great event, and is a great example of how this coaching starts to show up on a consistent basis. And we build in those systems to be accountable to our goals and outcomes every day. And that's all we got. I ain't got no more. Guys, next week, we are going to be getting together in person in the Pepper Pike office. We will see you there. Doors open at 9. Breakfast provided by Truehold. We're going to have a ton of fun. We have a great program from the person that we just heard from, one of the people we just heard from in Eric Akbar, his seminal program, or powerful annual program in Get One More Deal. Doesn't sound bad to me. All right, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we will see you Tuesday, 9 a.m. in Pepper Pike, live and in living color. Make it a good one.